Good morning, afternoon, evening, or somewhere in between. My name is Mr. Josh Higgins. I'm a teacher here at Pride Prep. I have been teaching in some capacity since the year 2012. I've been here at Pride for 2 years now. This is my second year, so technically 1 full year, and then this year. This year, to start off the school year, you're probably going to be seeing a lot of this face. If you're watching this face right here is your distance learning advisor. Hi. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll be able to see you in person starting this week, right now, this current week that we're currently in, the 1st of September, for our kickoff. If I haven't got a hold of you, or if you haven't got a hold of me, please reach out to my email and talk to me. I'm gonna try to go through what I would in our kickoff day on this video, so if this is parents watching, you kind of have an idea of what we did today in school, or what we're going to do tomorrow, or what we're going to do the next day. It's all the same stuff. We're just teaching it in smaller chunks so we can socially distance, or smaller chunks of people, not information. But after this video, if you still have questions, you still have concerns, please email me at my email at Pride. Sorry, this is going to be a public video, so I definitely don't want to be posting my email out there for someone to blast it. But my email at prideschools.org. And then most of you have my phone number. If you need anything else, you can always text me. Let's get to it. Alrighty, and welcome to my digital learning classroom space. The first thing we're going to talk about is the laptop in the corner that says Zoom. If you click on it, it will bring you to my Zoom room. All right, guys and girls and non-binary. Use that to get into our links in the morning and in the afternoon and all of our Zoom sessions. From there, the next and most important thing is on that whiteboard, it says Google Classroom. If you click on Google Classroom, it will bring you to my Google Classroom, and that is where all of our work will be turned in, all of our information will be put. It is the most important link on that digital classroom. This is my Google Classroom. I know it's a little bit confusing. But as you can see, if you click on classwork, it has it broken down in design, science, INS, weekly, DL work, which is distance learning. At the very bottom, I just put hard copies of everything that you can keep. Sorry that it keeps bouncing around. My finger's a little heavy, and it picks up the stuff and makes it drag around, and it was annoying. But this is one of the most important, so check out the Google Classroom. We'll be talking about it. If you come for kickoff, we'll be talking about it through the rest of distance learning. So check it out if you can. From here, we'll go back to the classroom, and on the bookshelves, there's books labeled 6, 7, and 8. If you're in 6th grade, if you click the 6th, this is a list of books that I have that you can borrow for your novel, that you can do for your reading for your L&L. If you're in 7th grade, you can click on 7th grade, and it has a list of 7th grade books that I have that you can use for L&L. If you click on 8th grade, same thing. All right? So back to the classroom, if you look at the bottom, there's a calculator and an abacus. The calculator brings you to this next page, which is the your math teacher's digital math classroom. If you have Mr. Joe for 6th grade, you're going to be turning it in to that 6th grade math corner. Miss Shay for the 7th grade, Mr. Mav for the 8th grade. You'll be clicking on those links and turning your work in there. All right? Sounds good. If you go back to the classroom and you click on the abacus, which is right next to the calculator, it'll bring you to the Khan Academy website. There is no assignments on Khan Academy that are due or anything like that. What it is a research tool for me and you to use to make sure that we're doing everything correctly. All right, cool. The last couple things I want to show you is if you click on the basil plant, it will bring you to the invasive species website. Washington Invasive Species. We'll be using this for our science projects coming up in the weeks coming up. So I wanted you guys to have it. If you click on my picture, me with floating around, you'll get my YouTube page, so you'll be able to link to any videos that I make throughout the year. The boombox will be a continuing thing that plays music that I choose or a podcast that I choose that students might like, and there's some hidden stuff in there, so you should click around and check it out. Have some fun. So this year for LNLs, well, not this year, this short period of distance learning for LNL, for language and literature, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to choose a novel to read, and we're going to read that novel during this distance learning time, and you're going to answer questions about that novel. All the answers and stuff, or not all the answers, all the questions and stuff can be found in my Google Classroom, which is linked off of my digital classroom space. Yeah, the one where I'm flying around with wings and a cool little flower headband. The link to Google Classroom in there has all of our assignments and everything like that that will be going on during this time. The LNL, we will pick a book and you will read it and you will respond to questions on an assignment in there. I have a big chunk of books, let me show you. For math, math is the best. We're going to be using this book right here. Your student, or you, if you're a student watching this, you're going to get a book like this on our kickoff. If you can't make it to kickoff, you can get it at school. It'll be available in the office as long as you just let me know you're coming, and I'll put together all your stuff. Yes, you may have noticed this says grade 5 up here, and this is my 6th grade book. The reason it is grade 5 is because we did miss a significant chunk of the school year last year, and we want to make sure everybody is flowing with the fundamentals and everything that was taught last year, and we want to make sure that they're remembering that stuff because it has been a huge traumatic time for everybody. You will have the ability to work your way up and out of the book into another book if you want to. If you're in 7th grade, you'll get 6th. If you're in 8th grade, you'll get 7th, and you can work your way through that. And how you're going to do that is you're going to do this. If you notice, all the pages, all the chapters are different lessons and stuff like that. So for chapter 1, it's for this 5th grade book, it's multiplying and dividing whole numbers. So you're going to go to this page, the first page in that chapter, which is actually the pretest. And you're going to take the pretest, show all your work, and write all the answers. It's the front and back of the first page, so it's also this page right here. Then you're going to go to, once you're done with that, in the back of the book are the answers. I'm not going to show them to you right now, but they're there. Once you self-correct your pretest, if you get an 80% or higher, you are able to skip that chapter. So let me reiterate that. You're going to start with the pretest. You're going to take it. You're going to grade it. The answers are in the back of the book. If you pass with an 80% or higher, you can skip to the next chapter. If you get below 80%, you're going to need to start with the lessons and go through the lessons that they have in each chapter, self-paced, and then you're going to do the post-test. You have to get an 80% on the post-test to be able to pass and move on to the next chapter. If you take the post-test and you get something like 75%, you will go back through and take the answers that you got wrong, and you will show your work and do them correctly, and that'll be counted as a correct answer. Does that make sense? And then as soon as you're over 80%, you can get moved to the next chapter. I know it sounds kind of confusing, and if this video is confusing about it, please email me or call me and we'll figure it out. It explains itself as soon as you figure it out, as soon as you can take a look at it. So your student will be coming home with one of these from Kick Off. And this is the book they'll be working on during our distance learning time. For INS, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to tie in INS and design together a little bit, and potentially LNL, which is language and lit. You're going to be able to choose the topic you want to do for your LNL assignment. It can be a theme from your book. So if you picked, one of my books over there is To Kill a Mockingbird. If you wanted to talk about the legal system and you wanted to talk about, if the thing that you were trying to figure out for your INS is, my brain is like racial inequality in the courthouses and in the justice system, we can use the theme from that book. But if you don't want to use the theme from the book, you can choose something that interests you, or something that is currently going on with the world, or is previously going on with the world, something that there's an issue that we can look at it critically and we can try to like solve, or like come up with a helpful step or some kind of project that we can work into design. So for like the example I gave away today, another teacher came up with the idea of, if you like reading, what about creating a little library, like one of those free libraries, right? But if that's too easy for you and you want to go more, what about, since the free libraries, since we're during the times of COVID, how are you going to protect the people that use your free library from catching or transferring the COVID virus? That's something you could build into it. That's something like that. So that goes along in the design project. And then the INS project ties into the design, and we kind of figure out, we talk about issues and social issues and the systems in place, the resources in place to work with issues and do different things. If you wanted to choose, if you like fishing, one of my favorite things to talk about is fishing, is the damage that hydroelectric dams do to the salmon population and the river population of fish. Maybe you want to create something. They just created a cool salmon cannon. If you've never seen it, look it up on YouTube. It's hilarious. So that's INS and design. They'll be kind of working hand in hand, and we'll be working on that throughout the distance learning period, which hopefully by the end, for design, you'll either come up with a tangible project where you can like create or build whatever you wanted to, or you'll have blueprints and ideas and contacts and research and all this different stuff that shows what your ideas were and how they were. And then for the INS side of it would be reflecting upon that project and discussing what resources you use to figure it out, what resources are out there, reflecting upon it, what would you change? What did you know? What didn't you know when you went into it? That's going to be all the INS side of that. And we're going to work on that together during our time together in our distance learning advisory chunks. Again, if you don't remember that, that's every day from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. You'll be expected to be online and working within small groups or something on my Zoom. I can do breakout sessions and stuff. I forgot, math goes from 11 to 12. So it goes from 9 to 11, working on INS and other things in our DLA groups. Then math is from 11 to 12, and then from 12 to 1 is lunch, and then 1 to 3 is back together in our small groups, working together, trying to figure things out. I know this is confusing, and I hope it helps out a little bit. If you have any questions or any worries, any concerns, anything, please feel free to email me or call me. Yeah, nice to meet you, everybody. And I hope to see you in person with a mask on during our kickoff. If not, I hope to see you in a Zoom session soon. And if you're a random person just that stumbled upon my video, hello and welcome. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.